Hey guys, what is up? I'm going to be doing a video today of Jungle Shaco, and it's starting off a little bit late here, mostly because for some reason the video is being a little bit screwy, and so I have to start it in kind of a shifty way, where I start XSplit afterwards, after the game's already in play, and I recorded it in this funky mode instead of the spectating mode, so I can't go back and forth through the game. But all you really missed was just me starting with 2 boxes here and 2 boxes here to get wolves and blue rather quickly. Now the skill order that you will be maxing, or I guess taking, you'll be taking W first, then your Q, then your E, maxing E, then Q, and then finally W. So the path I took, as I already stated a bit, was starting with wolves and then blue, and then going on to the rays. Now, the best part about Shaco is that after you go and do these raids, you can pretty much instantly head down to their red. I've been practicing quite a bit of Shaco for low to mid-range elo play, because he is one of those guys that first blood there for our team, which is nice. But yeah, he is one of those guys that can really pretty much win you the game within 10 to 15 minutes if you're successful. And there's 2 strategies that you can typically go with Shaco. One being to counter jungle hardcore, or the other to just kind of hump and camp the bottom lane. Now you can see here Olaf tries to come after me, but I've got 2 boxes, so he already gets dwindled down to a really low amount of HP. Just kind of wasting time and health pots, and sure, I'm not doing anything either, kind of getting hit by his axes, but giving him a heavy amount of damage, and we do trade a little bit, but and then his laning opponent can't really do anything because his lane is pushed so far in. So so this is a great time to counter jungle when all the lanes are kind of getting pushed in and can't help too much. So you can see he burns his flash there to get away, and then finally he kind of gives this plea like, if you don't help me, I'm going to be screwed. And so Ziggs comes in to try to help him out, and I'm no longer in the bush for them. And just that's what I like about Shaco, and I think everybody kind of likes about Shaco, is you can just be the world's biggest douchebag. Now he's kind of anticipating my arrival, so he does the early smite, and then I smite steal. He's got no health, so right there, it's just kind of screwed. Like, I'm level 3 and he's level 2 now, but he lost his red. He has to go back because he took so much damage. And then you can just kind of go back on your merry way. Now I choose to go and take my red just in case he comes to take it, and also because it's about 5 minutes and I want that red to be respawning soon so I can get it again, and of course get all the money from the camp. Now when you start most camps, what you're typically going to want to do is put your box down, and then deceive, and then 2-shift poison to get the most damage out when you've got blue and stuff like that. So the option that I took was to just intensively counter jungle the enemy, and so the items, as you can watch the first part of the video, and I go over all the items in detail, but here I just start trying to build my wriggles and my boots, because then you can have fast clear times, and then you can be speedy enough, because if you watch this engage, if it had been done correctly and she was actually paying any sort of attention to the fact that I'm in the bush, and she does, but I feel like we could have got this kill, but I could have been wrong, but if anything, yeah, you can see me saying here, why wouldn't you just blow her up? And she just doesn't, she didn't say much until like a couple minutes, but either way, forcing back someone out of lane like that is almost just as good well, not almost, just as good as a kill, but it's better than, you know, dying and killing them, because by doing 1-1, you're really not helping anybody. And I've really been trying to, like, I'm playing ranked quite a bit now, and the thing that I noticed is, like, my elo actually got pretty low because you, if you're good, you can't play a supporty kind of jungler. Like, I was playing a lot of Rammus and stuff, and you know, junglers like that are normally quite strong, but in that low elo, it seems like a lot of people just go straight from 30 into ranked games, and you can't. You have to pick a jungler that can carry the game. Just that's it, really, because otherwise you just kind of get screwed over. Because, like, I would play Rammus and I go in and powerball someone and pop my stuff and taunt them, and yeah, sure, they get a 1.5-second taunt, but then after that, I see an axe come here in a sec, maybe. And I'm just kind of baiting his axes because he has no blue and he's already quite and he's already quite behind. Now, this is a little trick that I always do with Shaco, is put the box in and then jump out, and because usually they hit the box and they're gonna run out, but you're already outside the outside the bush, which works quite well. And so there we go, just picked up a kill. He's intensely behind now, and at this point it's getting really hard for him to recover. He's really got no option but to maybe buy some sideboards so he doesn't get counter jungled all day long, but then he's not going to have any sort of items. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get any sort of items because he's either going to have to play defensively and get wards, or just continue to get ganked in the jungle, as now I'm at an advantage. So there we go, fighting Tryndamere. And then coming in, but you can see, like, he's already level 4. I would click him, but I'm really trying to be careful with this because yeah, it's just, this has been a hellish process. I think I've recorded this video like 3 times already, and I just hate FF Split and DX Tory. I don't hate FF Split, I hate the two of them together. But FF Split, you can't see the games without DX Tory, and I find a lot of the time it's so temperamental. It's screwed me over a bunch, and yeah, like, I think I've spent an hour recording this already before this video, so you guys better like it. Just kidding, but no, maybe I'm not kidding, because that's a lot of time, yo. So Shaco's really great for his boxes. They give you the vision and everything, and I just go and stab this bitch in the face, I think, here. She's like, yip yip, come stab me in the face. See, so that you can see how that, like, gives you a bit of jungle control, and by taking a little bit of turret fire, there we go, pick up a kill. So by counter-jungling and helping the bottom lane, I mean, that was once she got sent back, and another time that she's now dead. And he's still level 4. There's people that are level 8 in this game. 3 people, actually, that are level 8. So, it just kind of goes to show you the power of heavily counter-jungling, because not only does it set the jungler behind, but then the jungler can no longer help really any of his teammates, and you're effectively 4v5ing them, because I can come in and gank lanes and I'm useful, and level 4 Olaf can't do anything to any of these level 8s, like, realistically. You know, what's he really gonna do? Not much. So a counter-jungling approach can be very powerful, especially for these low elo or mid elo people that are probably watching these guides, or even unranked people that are watching these guides, because you know, those are pretty much the low elo people that are just training, you know, training to get their elo up, or or what have you. Sometimes I find that there's better people in blind pick than there is in ranked games, because like I was almost up to 1300, and then I just got a streak of just bottom lane feeders and, you know, a couple people AFK, and now I'm just having to try to climb my way back up, which sucks. But I have a friend who's a good duo partner, and so me and him are gonna just kind of try to fix the low elo thing that I've kind of gotten screwed over with, because I really do want to get to a high elo. Now, setting down a ward here can be a good option, and it helps me know when Olaf is coming, and it also is just good for their team. I did it mostly for bottom lane to just continue them getting the kills and stuff, because they can no longer, you know, have anyone do the old reach around and get them. Now, the nice thing too with this Shaco is that you can actually just kind of send him in to be scary, because really it doesn't matter if he gets hit by a turret. So going over here to check, and I think I wasn't really paying attention, and he beats on me a little bit, but like I said, like, he has such bad damage because he's got no items and stuff that it's really not a big deal. And then I pretty much just baited him there, and he got owned. So that's a bit of a late shield, but. But yeah, you can see how strong Shaco can be at counter-jungling. I mean, I don't want to hit buttons, but I still haven't died. I'm level 6 versus his level 5, probably still. Except I've got a ton of golden items relative to him, and I've been buying wards and stuff too, so just kind of waiting here for my ultimate. And then, see, you can see that detonation actually does quite a bit of damage, especially at this level. Like, when people only have 1000 health, dealing 300 magic damage to all nearby enemies is pretty strong. So, the goal of Shaco that you really want to take into consideration is that you want to win the early and mid game. If you lose those, you're effectively probably out of the game, because that's kind of when Shaco shines. He's not exactly a team fight boss. He can be if you're already winning the game, but by which case you've already won the game, and you don't really have to worry too much about that. And he must have, I think, see, like, he warded that bush, and then
unstoppable.
And now he's just kind of timid, you know. And we're the same level, but I've got a couple more kills than him, and I've been helping the lanes where he hasn't. So you might think, oh, you're wasting a lot of time in the jungle, but really, I'm just kind of making the fight considerably more uneven, as I can help my teammates and he can't help his. And I just kind of make a dash here because I've got my smite, I've got a deceive, I know he can't do anything. And then, bam, steal it again. And part of the reason why that worked so well is because twice so far he's been a little over-eager on his smites, but you see that a lot in like these low-ranked to mid-ranked games. People just kind of pop their smite and stuff. And especially if they are going to go give it to their mid, which their mid could be, say, right in that bush, which I'm going to move to and not click because I'm terrified to click anything. If the mid is right in that bush, which they typically do, and you're sitting right here, well, you can still smite right over that wall and get away absolutely free because of deceive and flash. It's part of the reason why I take Deceive and Flash because it's great for chasing down, as Shaco has a passive slow. She's just like, who's getting it? And I'm like, Morg probably. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, of course we'll give it to Morg. And then she proceeds to last hit it right before Morg gets here, so just kind of wastes her time. But that's what I'm talking about, is that there's a lot of people like this. Fuck, she says, of course. And I didn't even have to go top lane, which was really nice. Pretty much just got to stay in this sector, aside from going through my own jungle. But that's pretty powerful, because if you think about it, that's like when it comes to the early game, you're close to dragon, you're close to one enemy, and then you're close to another 2 enemies.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Now if you look at it at this point, oh, damn, I guess he's got out of there, but... And one thing that you can do as well is, and I definitely didn't do it, but you can do it, just, you know, to squeeze out every little bit, is you get this guy to taunt and you go behind, and then you get your passive of that 20 bonus damage. But I typically really only worry about it when I'm, you know, killing people. And so she goes the other way, but with 3 people and her being so low, she's pretty screwed, and she doesn't get to go invisible. And so I just stand here to kind of block her off from this route, and bam, capped in the face. So you can see how the fact that their lanes, like, top couldn't get helped because Olaf couldn't come to help, and, you know, mid couldn't get help because Olaf couldn't come to get help, and bottom couldn't get help because he couldn't come yet again. So you see how strong it can be, especially in this, like, kind of area where people don't work together so well. You know, they're not that straight out team that has, you know, been playing together and have excellent communication, so you can kind of play off that and win, because you know, they're not communicating enough to eliminate that counter-jungling. Because really, Olaf would have needed someone else probably to buy wards, someone that's been getting kills if there was any, to put a ward in at, you know, at the various spots. Because he needs to buy items, because he's lost about 3 or 4 buffs, which is, you know, probably like about a kill worth of gold, and again, just baiting, and Tryndamere being Tryndamere thinks he can get away, but it doesn't happen. And so you can see how you can really carry the game by just screwing over even just one person, because by screwing over the jungler, then you've got open access to just gank as you please. And he's level 7 and I'm level 9 at this point, and everybody else is like 11, 12, 13. So you can see that I've just rendered him absolutely useless to his entire team. And slowing this little dude, he flashes right on top of me, thank you so much, and dead. And he's so mad that he whips his axe at the Jack-in-the-Box. She's like, motherfucker! But, it was funny, me and him had quite a long talk after the game. And, he was just like, I've never been counter-jungled so hard in my life. And that's just the power of Shaco. So, this kind of sucked. I ended up deceiving right into a thing there, which kind of sucked. But then you go, and because you've got that passive slow, more than easy to just go and hunt people down like that. Picking up another kill because he's so low on health, just with his level and his stats, that bam, gets owned. And we pretty much just ass-raped the entire team. And then bam, in, deceived, pop him in the kisser. And just like any typical Shaco, you get away like an absolute boss with 13 HP. And my team has a little laugh here saying, lol, Shaco's HP. Still haven't died yet. Poor guys. So I do feel a little bit bad for them, sort of, but not really. And I know I have an older Season 2 guide. This is also one thing, you really gotta buy your wards if you're gonna counter jungle. You can get your ass kicked, I don't care who you're playing as. If you walk into a blind spot, or you go into a bush, you know, you're screwed. And you can tell that the enemy team is just kind of harping on this Olaf, which he told me that they were, and then I say, in his defense, I slowed him down, and he's like, he never ganked, but he couldn't really. You can't gank when your level's behind. When, like, what's level 8 Olaf gonna do to level 13 Vlad? He's not gonna do anything. That's just kind of the name of the game, you know. So, and again, just sending in the clone here to kind of deal with this. And it would have been nice if that hadn't killed him. I would have laughed pretty hard. And so, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, that's why you want wards, because if you went in there and, you know, they finally started to help him, and there's 3 guys trying to help Olaf get blue buff so he can, you know, go crazy and clear out all the camps really fast, then you're gonna get killed. I mean, you can deceive away, but if they have any sort of CC, you're just gonna get locked down in a couple seconds anyways. And it also makes it so that you're, like, our entire team has just been going through the jungle at this point. And me popping out there, and then you give him the old stabberoo. And poor Soraka just gets laced. But then RMF does that, and they take her out, but then, and this kind of sucked. I kept trying to throw my daggers, and it just didn't do anything. But it allowed more to come in here, and it allowed her to come in here and pick up a Quadra, so, and I don't know what he was doing. Oh, he must have thought we were retreating, and then throws that at her. She spell shields, knife in the face, and GG, they quit. Bad game. So you can see how frustrated people can get when you can still jungle, even if you're behind. If you can still come and help the lanes, you know, because you're not as behind as the guy you just counter jungled like crazy. So I hope you guys liked that, and I hope it kind of showed you the power of early game Shaco, because really it could have been a totally different game had Olaf been able to come to his lanes, but he couldn't. So hope you guys like that. Please like and subscribe. If you're wondering what the masteries, items, or anything like that is, then you can check it out in part 1 of the video. I have to kind of segment them because of this issue that I have with the whole recording thing being totally stupid. But yeah, that was pretty much it. And you can see at this point, like, I went 4-0-6, only got 38 CS, but I went 4-0-6, didn't die once. And Olaf had died. He was 0-4-0, had 79 CS, but look what he's got for items. He's got no upgraded boots. He's got a Philo Stone, which, you know, you're already screwed at the 23-minute mark. You're not going to get much gold. So really all he's got is a Wriggles and boots, and whatever this little potato sack is here. I don't know what that item is. Yeah, so you can quickly see that, like, what did he make? He had $4,444. So, I mean, what can you do with that? And see, even though I was behind, I was still $1,100 ahead and way less CS than him. And allowed, you know, my bottom lane to pick up a kill and outlane the opposing MF, and she was 34. CS ahead. So that's, that's a kill and a half right there. So I hope you guys liked that, and if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave it in the comments below, and I will reply to that ASAP. And please like and subscribe; it really helps me out and shows me that that you guys are liking these guides. So peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.